Hey everyone, welcome to another episode, episode 2 of Coke with Kevin. Today, I wanted send a big old reminder to all of you since my last video didn't do so super well. That is, it got very few views relative to the other views that we usually talk about. But anyway, it was a really good one. It did involve a little bit of a race topic, but I will say there's a really good takeaway about building wealth in it, and it's something that we can all take advantage of. And I wanted to talk a little bit about building wealth to start with. And then, of course, I want to talk about, any kind of questions that you have. But a big thing that I'm seeing right now in the market, which is really interesting, is it seems like there are a lot of people with more money than they're putting out and that they're saying. And we're seeing massive premiums for anything from like the high quality stocks to the good real estate. Oh my gosh, that makes me want to open up some Coke. So we've got our Coke. So if you got any kind of questions, ask. But seriously, I don't know what it is, but you've got companies like Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia, Microsoft, Wayfair, Apple, not so much Disney yet, right? But AMD, Netflix, Google, these companies are blowing up with their premiums. And you're seeing the same thing in real estate right now. It's you're seeing move-in ready quality real estate blowing up in values. And it's weird because we're in the middle of a pandemic. This is definitely the time you don't want to be buying at the top. You want to be buying stuff below market value. But golly, it's certainly gotten interesting out there because then you go shopping in the stock market. And it's like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna take my free Coke and I'm gonna go shopping in the stock market. All right, what's cheap? And then you look and you go, well, the airlines are cheap. Ford's cheap. Carnival Cruise Lines is cheap. Well, yeah, but they've also taken on like 3x the debt they had beforehand. They're starting to sell off shares to try to raise capital to prevent from going bankrupt. It's a crazy time out there, folks. But the biggest thing, I mean, even with all this craziness going on, the biggest recommendation that I could seriously give all of you, and I'm telling you, I know my last video it didn't do super well. I encourage you to watch it though. I had some really good topics in there. But the big thing is get into owning assets. That's what we talked about in Coke episode number 1. And so now I want to hear from y'all, but yeah, be careful. A lot of big stock premiums right now, big real estate premiums in the safe plays, the good areas, the really good companies. And you know what? You look at it, you go, maybe it's a safe premium, or maybe people are just done with the other companies and people are consolidating on the expensive stuff. So who knows? All right. So what kind of questions you got? We won't go crazy long today. But we definitely got the Coke ready to go, so I'm appreciating it. Appreciate y'all being here. All right, got me a house just before the COVID. Well, congratulations. Really, a lot of folks they wonder, how do I get started? How do I build wealth? How do I start? And then we talk about home ownership. It's like, well, have you considered starting with home ownership? And a lot of the responses, oh, well, why would I get into home ownership? I have to replace the roof. A house is a liability. And a lot of this is so misplaced. A house is not a liability. A house is not a liability any more than your rent payment is a liability. A house is a tool for you to build wealth with as long as you follow rules, right? You can buy it below market value. It is an asset that produces big value. If you don't over improve it, it's an asset that produces big value. Can you blow your money on a house and be upside down? Totally. Don't get me wrong. If you watch HGTV, you will get destroyed on fixing up a property. You will overspend so hardcore. It's pretty incredible. And yeah, look, the I see the China questions coming up here. Look, you remember, if you're worried about China, remember what we had to deal with last time when it came to China. Well, first of all, we had to get more Coke. Don't forget the Coke. This stuff's actually good. I would know. um, Look at what happened last time with the China trade war, right? Look at like the market crash at the end of 2018, which was partially caused by the increase in the Trump taxes, tough talk on China, and of course, interest rates going up. That was a substantial bump in the market there we had at the end of 18, and certainly we had more China trade war drama going on in 19 as well, but if you look back, you go volatility. It's almost like a buying opportunity every time we hear about China. And yeah, look, that's going to make things more expensive for companies like Apple, right? Look at Apple. Apple's profit went down in their last quarterly earnings, or their revenue went down. And it's like, you almost can't even really call Apple a growth company right now, which I guess you maybe haven't been able to do for a while. I mean, it's a very safe company to own, right? But Yeah, what do you mean excess play? Okay, bro, you're spamming on the unemployment. Like I saw you, no worries, man. But I've made videos on the unemployment. Type in, meet Kevin on the $600 PUA, and I've broken that down. How well would you say your real estate investing course translates to the UK market? I get that question all the time. How do the courses translate? The big thing that I teach in my course is really principles based, because look, anybody can pull out a calculator and show you how to calculate cash flow. You could Google that crap. I don't teach you anything you can Google. I teach you the stuff you can't Google, the psychology. And that applies everywhere. So I'd say 90% applies. Apple reproduces the same product over and over. Look, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I've had my beef with Apple too. This thing right here, oh my gosh, the amount of times I've had to go around with Apple on it, not super jazzed about Apple. I was actually running the earnings for Chipotle today. It's so funny that you bring up Chipotle. Let me see if I can pull it up right here. Kind of show you what I got going on. Yeah, here's Chipotle. It's funny. I mean, this sheet looks like a mess, and I was doing this like half asleep. So, don't sue me, bro, here. But it is going to be a little messy. But I'll pull it up and I'll show you what I had on Chipotle. I think this is the right one. Let's see here. I just reorganized all the cables and everything, so I don't remember what I'm doing here. We'll get to the bottom of it. But anyway, I'll try to flip it over to this screen here. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Is it? Yes, it is. Look at that. See what I mean? Bam. I don't like that much. Hold on. Let me try to do this. See, okay, here we go. There. Yeah, I was sitting here playing numbers on Chipotle, just trying to do projections and stuff like that. But I'll tell you, this company it's expensive, and it stays expensive. Even when you start projecting revenue out to 2022, you still got a company that's selling for like a 52 forward price to earnings ratio. I don't know. Like, look, I want to own Chipotle. I think it's a good company, but golly, when I was doing the numbers, I'm like, man, I'd be better off buying Amazon or Tesla than buying Chipotle right now, which is really like, I hate saying that because Tesla and Amazon, it's like, oh, sure, Kevin, just Tesla and Amazon. That's a good one, man. You know what? You're creative. Have some more Coke, Kevin. I get it. But look, when I look at the earnings report, I'm like, yeah, hey, the guac's good unless it gets you sick. That's the problem with restaurants. You got to be careful with the restaurants too, because look, Chipotle got spanked when they had the salmonella outbreak, in like 2015 or something like that. We should try Mountain Dew. Maybe next time we'll do Dew with Kevin. Episode 3. Mm. Yeah, I think it's easy to say that any company that is trading for a high now, like a new high on price, is overvalued. But I worry that that's a little like oversimplified. Amazon's selling at its all-time highs, but my POV is, and this is the kind of stuff we usually talk about in the live streams, but my POV is that business has a $3,200 price target by the end of 2022. So we'll see. That means if you're investing for around $2,400 today, you'd make about 7% on your money over the next couple of years, right? So it's not like it's one of those 30% breakout stocks, but it comes with less risk as well, right? So still waiting on my PU. Extend the coupon. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of folks were asking me to extend the coupon code, or honestly, the coupon code's supposed to expire today. But it's like, I'm such an idiot because I picked the day before Memorial Day to have my coupon code expire. It ain't gonna be 50% off, okay? Lauren and Kevin, do it live. Oh, all right, that's interesting. Do you recommend Tesla? I like Tesla under 800, but honestly, they're so close. And futures right now are up about 1/3%. I might be okay with Tesla where it is now. My target for Tesla is really, 905 plus once we get to the end of 2022. Honestly, the stock will probably be higher, but that's just, it's a realistic number that I expect. So I've been buying them under 800 all day long. At 818, it's like, okay, what am I paying an extra, 0.5% or something like that, or 2% or whatever, it doesn't matter. Penny, look, and I don't do penny stocks and things like that. I know there's so many cheap companies. You know how many people in my programs, wow, Twitch stream, that'd be great. You know how many folks in the live streams that we do in the private group, a lot of newer folks would join, and in the live streams, a lot of folks are like, Kevin, what about Hertz? What about Hertz? I think I got asked about Hertz for like 4 weeks straight last month, and I'm like, I ain't touching it. I ain't doing it. And I'm like, I'll look at the earnings report, and I'm like, not touching it, And now they file BK. Now I know there's that bounce back potential, but I have to say, Square. Look, I think Square might be getting hammered here soon with the small businesses, unless their Cash App really takes off, right? Which it might, but I don't know how much profit they make from Bitcoin. They're not super clear about that. But what was the other one that I said? I don't know. There was another one that I said. We just mentioned another stock, and I started talking about it, and then I forgot about it. Oh well. So, oh well. Yeah. Honestly, seriously, folks, I really recommend the Trace. That's 6666. Yeah, Trace. I don't see it happening. Don't worry about it. But yo, Mike, you gotta stop. You can't be spamming, man. I'm gonna have to hide you, bro. So look, this is really going to be the election cycle to vote, because there is a lot to be talked about there. All right, Mike. If anything, I hope our voter turnout is higher this time than it's ever been in the past. But then again, it's a mid-election cycle. Usually those don't have as good of a turnout. Costco, I don't know. Costco to me is not a growth company. I compare it to kind of like a Target, right? I'm big on growth right now. I'm a big person on. Look, I own a bunch of AT&T stock and JP Morgan, and I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I owning dividend stocks right now? All I am doing is literally handing money to the California government. It's stupid, because California doesn't give you a break on dividends that I'm aware of. And the federal government, even for qualified dividends, still pays you a good, or it still charges you a good chunk in taxes. So it's like, frustrating, And I was looking into Nvidia, and I know there's been a big push for Nvidia because of Bitcoin mining, but I've actually been researching that one a little bit. I just don't know how much they actually support Bitcoin mining anymore. A lot of people are using those Samsung chips. So you gotta be careful with stuff that's so dedicated to like Bitcoin. Excuse. It's the Coke is coming at me. Oh, it's all so much Coke, Kevin. Uh, oh, really? The folks, here's the thing: the stocks aren't going to make you rich. If you own less, and I say this all the time, but if you have a net worth that's less than $5 million, you gotta own real estate. Stocks ain't gonna cut it for you. You could throw $500. Heck, you know what? You could throw $5,000 into, oh my gosh, United Airlines, who just sold a bunch of shares, or American Airlines, which is heavily in debt, or Simon Property Group, a speculative REIT. You could throw your money in that, and you could double your money, and you're still not gonna be wealthy. You're still not gonna be able to change your life. This is where real estate wins. This is where you always win with real estate if you buy it below market value. Now, look, it's a grind. It's not as easy as sitting here and going swipe up on Robinhood, swipe, left and right on Tinder. I get it. But real estate, if you put in the work, it's good. AT&T, I don't necessarily think it is cheap. For the massive company that it is, it pays out most of its growth and dividends. I mean, it's paying like 7% right now, which is incredible. But yeah, no, I am not offering a payment plan for my course again. No. The thing is, what happens with payment plans on the internet, folks, is people they sign up with debit cards. And then they get overdrawn, and it's like, okay, well, here, you know what, have your money back, but no, people overdraw their debit cards. People, they use like temporary cards. It's funny, the payment plans. There's a reason why when you look at companies and they're like, oh, do you want to pay in full or do you want to pay in a payment plan? There's a reason you always get screwed taking the payment plan, because usually the companies or the credit card companies are getting screwed. In fact, listen to this. I went to buy solar panels, and a company. This was like 5 years ago. The owner of the company is like, "All right, Kevin, we can give you the solar panels for $14,000, or you could do 0% financing, same as cash." And I'm like, 0% financing, same as cash? What do you mean? Yeah, you just don't pay any interest until 1 year goes by. And they're like, really? So it's $14,000 if you pay cash for $14,000 if you finance it. I don't believe it. Like, what? Let me ask you this. What happens if I just write you a check right now? And he takes this piece of paper, puts it into his briefcase, pulls out a different piece of paper and goes, oh, well, if you're going to pay cash right now, we could sell them to you for 13 grand. It's like they had $1,000 of profit built into the financing that was supposed to be same as cash. I'm telling you, folks, the business of money is so such a psychological trick, and like the more you know, the more you start realizing how you get screwed in different forms of business. So just little things for you to keep in mind. So hopefully that helps you out. Airbnb will be interesting. I wouldn't mind doing a few Airbnbs myself. Once the Rona's done and travel picks up again, just because I think everybody's going to be on par again. Everybody's on that same level playing field. What are you talking about? This is the awesome Coke. Mm-hmm. Yep. So what else you got? I don't know. YouTube channel advice. Go make videos. I think that's probably the best advice I could give you is, look, I'm just a dude. I just come out here and talk. It's kind of the same thing I do in my videos. I really appreciate y'all, saying you like the videos. Yeah, the Rona. But just make a video, Mike, go make a video. Stop asking for a shout out and go make a video. The big thing you got to do is just get out there and film. And seriously, you can take a phone and you can start doing this stuff. Like the quality, you don't have to use all these fancy and expensive cameras and all this stuff. Why? Just get your phone and get to work. I don't think this cable is going to be long enough. I wonder if we could try it. I don't know. This is probably a bad idea. Oh well. I'm like the king of bad ideas, I feel like. Let's see. Let's see what that would look like. The front face. That's not that bad. Hey, I like this. Okay, hold on. Let's see if we could do this. Let's see what it would look like if we put this this up, and then I talk to you on here instead of the main camera. Oh, well, nothing. Hold on, I gotta fix that. Which switch is it? I'm pretty sure it's that one. Okay. I may have messed it up. We'll get to the bottom of it. But anyway, I'll answer some more office tour. Somebody says, stop Martin, my name is Meet Clickbait Kevin. Like, what are you talking about? You click on the video and then you come in and you're like, okay, I clicked, but damn, that information is good. Listen to this guy. The problem you have is if you pause the video and you don't even give the video a chance, you're the one missing out on free knowledge on money. You want to be poor and not have the free info. Well, fine. It doesn't matter to me. You can dislike the video and leave. Come on. I try to get this darn iPhone. The problem is I just changed this stupid little setup here. I mean, it's too complicated. And that's the other thing I always say is keep your life simple, because if you complicate things too much, then, well, guess what? Things get oh, that's probably why. Okay. I'll tell you, I had a bunch of employees too. I think up to 15 or 16 employees and multiple corporations and companies. Oh my gosh, folks, trademarks, LLCs, corporations, you name it. You gotta be careful. So much of this stuff. Not necessarily worth it. Hold on. Let's see if it works now. Oh, come on. Okay, I think what it is it won't let me play the video portion of it. Oh, well. Maybe I could just, that's not gonna look the same. I wanted to show you that the quality is basically the same if you just use the phone. You really can't tell a difference. I know that's not gonna make it look good, but it's pretty good, which is impressive for what it is. It's just, you have good lighting and you're fine. You could use your cell phone to make yourself a YouTube channel. So should you refinance your house? Look, the only reason you should ever refinance is if you smash the like button and have life insurance linked down below. No, look, obviously your 2 free stocks with Webull are down there as well. Deposit $100. Really though, the only reason you should refinance is if you have something to do with the money. If you're going to refinance and you're like, oh, look, I got $50,000. What am I going to do with it? I don't know. I'll just leave it in my bank account. And then all of a sudden you have a higher payment. You sit there and you got this money in your bank account. And what happens? You psychologically start spending more money. Bad. It's not a good idea. The SBA loan, the 30-year loan, I think it's great. Just use it for what it's meant for, working capital for your business. If you take out the loan and you put it into stocks, that's not okay. You got to be careful with that. And as far as my opinion on the likelihood of the next stimulus check, I think it's happening. I really think it's happening. Where's the link for your stock downstairs? I don't know what you're talking about. The link for the program is down below. It says program. metkevin.com/program. You see, everything's met Kevin because you all have met me now. You can watch. Oh, Lauren wants me to say that you should go watch our vlogs. And you can type in metkevin.com/vlog and see those. metkevin.com/program. and join my courses. Use that coupon code. All right. How do you find an undervalued property? Well, you start by getting an agent. You get pre-approved. You're ready to buy. Here, let me read you an example of how not to. Let's see. Here's just a quick little lesson in psychology. So you got to get pre-approved. You got to get an agent, and you have to build trust with an agent. Because if you hit up an agent and say something like, "Where is it? Oh yeah," you just straight out come out of the gate looking, uh, coming out of the gate hot. First of all, if you're going to ask an agent to help you, they better be in your area. So if you ask an agent to help you out, that's like 2 hours away from where you are. That ain't going to happen. It's good if you're already pre-approved. It's better if you get pre-approved with the agent's lender, build that sort of rapport. But if you come in going, you're only interested in buying something that's flippable or at 65% of after repair value, you're asking an initial agent to do way too much work for you. It'll never happen. You got to actually, once you've got an agent and you got a pre-approval letter, you got to get the pickaxe out and go to work. You got to send the messages and go to the open houses and ask and look for the fixers and knock on the doors and send the letters. You got to get out there and check that Redfin, 5 times a day and the MLS multiple times a day. It's not all going to fall in your lap. And I think that's probably the biggest impediment in real estate is, oh, thank you for the shout out there on my program that you love it. That's really nice. So the coupon code is just phase and then the number 4. The the big thing is if you get into real estate, let me tell you right now how most people get into real estate. Most people that get into real estate, it's like, all right, I go on Zillow. All right, there's a duplex right there. Let's calculate the cash on cash return. Ooh, 5% cash on cash return. I'm going to go to the open house. Go to the open house, never had an agent, no pre-approval letter. Oh yeah, cash on cash return on this looks great. How do I buy this? Can I offer 30 grand less on this? Well, we've got multiple offers. Damn. And then they never look at real estate again. It's like the opposite of how to, that's like your quick how-to off Google, which is wrong. So it's the opposite of how you want to get started in real estate. Thank you, Monica. Yes, I see the YouTube icon you got. Look, Tesla's going to dominate the market. That's just the bottom line. If I could, part of me is like, you know what? I'm just going to put 100% of my stock portfolio in Tesla because I believe in it so much. And the problem is then I come across as a fanboy or like a zealot, right? And you never want to be a zealot or somebody who 100% believes in just one thing, that one thing cannot fail. So the M1 finance chart is metkevin.com/index, but I'm going to change it tonight. So check it again tonight. I don't touch USO. Simon Property. I've lost a lot of enthusiasm for Simon because of, I'll talk about it more tomorrow. Yeah, there's some other issues going on. So I actually pre-ordered a car with Rivian just to see what the competition's up to. It's always good to know your product, like I don't know certain products, so I don't talk about them. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about crypto because I don't know about it, okay? Like I watched a video on Bitcoin mining and I'm like, yep, nope, not even interested. And apparently it's not even profitable, especially in an area like California where the electricity rates are nuts. So pandemic unemployment assistance through the rest of the year, I mean, I think that'd be great. For a lot of folks, I just don't think it's going to look. The Republicans are not going to let that happen. I try to bring you all the news, the second I can see things between the lines or the second I have updates, I try to bring them to you as fast as possible. And everything that I'm reading indicates to me that there's no way it's getting extended through the rest of the year. I think it'd be great, but I don't see the $600 boost happening. Oh, thank you for saying you got the course today. Make sure you join Discord. That's awesome. So Lisa Ann, okay, we got your pitch. We got it. Gold, like 2% of your portfolio, right? Yeah, focus on growth. Most of us here, if you're trying to build your wealth, you should be focused on building your wealth. That is, if you have, again, even if you have less than $500,000, Start by building your wealth. Forget this crap about, oh, you need cash flow today. Oh, you need dividends today. This stuff, it's the opposite of what you got to do right now. Number one, build wealth. Number two, cash flow. That's the order. I actually, all right, B, we gotta stop the Lisa stuff, okay? I don't have anything on, like, well, it's not that I don't have anything on him, but I don't have anything I don't know. I just don't want to talk about Cardone right now. I kind of honestly, if maybe if there's anything I want to say to him, like, not that he ever watches this kind of stuff, but for those of you who are interested in Cardone, I guess all I would say is that, oh, there we go. I guess yes, all the courses are lifetime access. People, I got to make that more clear. And I keep adding content to this. But I guess all I could say for Cardone is honestly, I feel bad. And I'm not trying to say that like I'm coming from a high horse or whatever. But, you know, you got to, when you have thousands of tenants and you're managing a fund with thousands of investors, you're not just dealing with the stress of the tenants or the property managers not showing up for work or the handyman not showing up for work because of the Rona and everybody's taking unemployment, but you're also dealing with the investors. Oh my gosh, the amount of phone calls that office must have gotten over the last 3 months. I just don't envy that. I could not sleep knowing how many phone calls would be coming into my office or in that situation. It would honestly be miserable. So I do feel bad for that. Let me know if you need a kilo. I mean, how much do you think these things weigh? 12 fluid ounces? Well, that's like what? How many of these in a gallon? I don't know, like 10 of these? About 10 of these in a gallon. So this is probably about 1 pound. A kilo would be like 2.5 Coke cans. You want to send me 2.5 Coke cans? I'll take them. Yeah, I'll take a kilo of Coke. All right, folks. Well, and look, I don't touch commodities. I get that oil question all the time, but I don't touch commodities. It's just what's the point? What am I gonna invest? I mean, that's the same thing as I'd rather, if I'm gonna touch a commodity, I'd rather just touch gold. And again, only like 1 to 2%. It's why not focus on building assets that create wealth, stocks and real estate? It gets supported by the government. It gets supported by the Fed. Why is it that people with assets get bailed out before people without assets? Because that's the nature of America. That's the American game. I didn't like Acorns when I looked into their software. Oh, I think it's a distraction, a debit card. I don't fully remember it though. But anyway, there you go. There are my thoughts for the day. I hope you liked Coke with Kevin, and maybe we'll do another one if you like this kind of stuff. All right, appreciate y'all. We'll see you. Thanks.